Hello, 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 and welcome back to Marvel's Avengers. That's right, we're playing Marvel's Avengers in this day and age. I say playing, we're just going to be looking at some skill trees today, but as you may have guessed, the reason we're back to this game is because Bucky has come out, the Winter Soldier. He's my favorite character in all of Marvel. So much so I have a little action figure of him on my bookshelf. It's startlingly like the likeness of Sebastian Stan, and it's almost a little bit creepy the way he stares at you. But it's fine. We're going to move past that, and we're going to take a look at the Winter Soldier's skill tree. That's what we're going to do. As you can see, I've already played a little bit as as Bucky Barnes. Unlocked a few of his stuff, like his like leveled his gear up and stuff like that. Um, I will save my overall impressions for like a separate video because this is just going to be looking at the back end of all of his stuff. We're going to look at his skills first, and then we're going to look at all of his cosmetics at the end, including his hero pass. So right, let's get into it. So, light attack. We're going to let the cinematic play out a few times just for each one so you guys can see what it looks like and like have a little read of the information. But yeah, this is his light attack combo. It feels kind of similar to Cap's light attack combo with the big knockback at the end. Kind of feels very similar to the way that Cap kind of like thrusts his shield into enemies. It's fine. It's fine. No issues with the light combo. Light sprint attack, fairly standard, just a hit, does a little bit of stagger. It's good. Then you can modify a lot of his attacks with R2, and what this basically does is it just adds a knife strike onto the end of it. It's just a little additional hit that does extra damage, expands some of his meter, spends some of his meter, should I say. It's worth mentioning, his intrinsic attacks feel quite awkward at the moment because holding down R2 just does a block with Bucky, and this block actually does interrupt a lot of your combos if you hold down R2. So you seem to have to sort of do like a combo button press almost to try and get these intrinsic attacks to work a lot of the time. The sprinting ones aren't so bad because they seem to just come out as they should. But some of the later ones involve you pushing R2 in the middle of combos, and that will break up his combo, which is really bizarre and it feels really clunky and awkward, and they need to have a little look at that, I think. But yeah, got light dodge attack, just a little uppercut. Functions perfectly fine. It's like a lot of light dodge attacks, just a little interrupt kind of. You can modify that one with a knife strike as well, which I haven't done too much because this is one of the ones that I was having trouble getting to activate. But yep, that's what that looks like. Seems fine. What have we got? We've done those. His launcher is fine. Again, feels kind of like Cap's launcher. It's quite satisfying, actually. I will say, like, it's maybe a little bit more satisfying than Cap's one. Real good sense of impact to it. Functions like every other launcher, though. So, yep. He's got a slam down. This slam down, as you can see from the video that's playing at the bottom, it will do the first hit of his air combo before it slams down, which is kind of annoying because it keeps you floating in the air for a little bit longer than maybe you would like, especially when you're deliberately trying to go for a slam down, because the idea is you want to be descending to the ground as quickly as possible to continue the carnage kind of thing. But because of that first hit, that light hit, that kind of delays your descent, which isn't phenomenal. Not one of my favorite. I mean, I like the move, I just don't like the way that you have to do that light attack first. Then he's got additional square attacks after landing to do some shockwaves. This feels very reminiscent of the Hulk, his like hold down triangle moves. It's sort of like just like big AoE, well, medium AoE. It's not quite as big as the Hulk's ones, I don't think. I might be wrong. But yeah, it feels kind of like that. Maybe with a little bit of a combination of like the pneumatic fist of Iron Man's Hulkbuster. Um, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But again, it's off of the back of this kind of janky slam down. So it's maybe a little bit clunky as a result of this. Onto his heavy attacks. Sprinting attack. It is the Captain America kick. It's the one that just sends people flying. It's the same thing. It's very cool. I like it a lot. And then his heavy intrinsic attack, holding down R2. I actually really like this one as well. I have no issues pulling this one off, which is good, because again, some of the intrinsic attacks feel kind of bugged at the moment. But yeah, this one's good. This one is fine. Big AoE, lots of knock up and knock back. Very good. Um, what? Heavy combo. It's a three hit. It's fine. Like it ends with a nice AoE as well. Um, yep, no issues with that. It's a good heavy combo. Like comes out quite fast. Does reasonable damage, and the AoE at the end is nice. The intrinsic attack. Now this is where I start to have problems. Um, so the intrinsic version of it increases the AoE and the damage a little bit, basically. The problem is when you push R2 in the middle of this heavy combo, it just stops the heavy combo. So you need to sort of like time it so you're pushing R2 and triangle at the same kind of time, only you're holding down R2 instead of like tapping it. So it can be quite awkward, and every so often you will find that you drop your combo because it's just randomly blocking instead of using the intrinsic power. So yeah, it's not his best one. Heavy dodge attack. I've not actually used this one very much. It looks cool. I've not had too much time to experiment around with this one. It just looks like a heavier version of his square dodge attack, which is as it should be. Same with this one. As I say, I've not really used triangle dodge attacks, but this is the intrinsic version of that triangle, which is just a shotgun blast. It's fine. It looks fine. I've not really used it much, but apparently it deals a lot of stun damage, so hopefully that's the case. His combo finisher, I'm actually a big fan of his combo finisher. It is essentially like his triangle end, except it has a grenade blast before it. So it's just extra damage. Um, very, very cool. Intrinsic version. Also, like, it has the same problem as the triangle combo, unfortunately, where, like, sometimes you will just block in the middle and it will break your combo instead of doing this skill. But if you can get this skill to come out, it's good. It's a lot of fun. Like, high chaos. um, Heavy aerial attack. This is just pressing triangle. I actually quite like this one. It has reasonable like travel distance. You can chain it quite easily into his other air combo and stuff, like off of the end of his other air combo. Yep, quite like it. No problem with that. Buckshot. This again, fine. Absolutely no issue with this. It seems to hit quite reliably. It's got a fairly wide radius, so you've got a little bit of leeway when you like uh, execute it to actually hit the enemy you want to hit. Uh, this is his power combo. So this functions kind of like Hawkeye and Kate Bishop's arrow combos. You just keep pushing triangle after the initial hold down triangle skill. I will say this one is maybe a little bit less reliable than Hawkeye's one. It leaves Bucky quite open, and that machine gun spin that you see as the second combo, it doesn't really seem to do much. Like it's kind of underpowered as a second hit in the chain, and as a result, enemies can kind of power through it and end up knocking Bucky out of it, which isn't phenomenal. But it is a powerful combo nonetheless, despite that second machine gun kind of blast. Ranged attacks. Going on to ranged attacks. The ranged attacks, you start with burst. Burst like is actually quite powerful. You can take out most aerial enemies in one burst, which is really nice. On the proviso your power is like okay. Yep, feels fine. Charge. The issue with the charge is you have to fire a burst before you fire the charge, so like it doesn't come out like super fast. Basically, I would also say that there are better options than this charge up shot, so it it could be worth exploring other options, like for example the ultimate fire mode, which is the grenade launcher, which also breaks block just like the charge shot. So like it's probably faster to just switch to this mode and then just use it. It also has a small amount of splash damage, as you can see, which just makes it a better version of the charge shot. And you don't have to charge it. As long as your fingers are quick, you can just switch and just use the grenade, which is like, yeah. You can also transform it into a sticky grenade. I've not really used this one all that much because I haven't really found the point for it just yet. I just kind of like, I don't know, the regular grenade launcher just seems to be quite efficient, so I don't really know why I would be using that. Like, the action is so fast and frantic that sometimes just like, yeah, things that have delays to them just don't really feel like they have much impact. And I think that is the case here. But I don't know, it's nice if you want to like set up traps, I guess, for enemies that are like running towards you. This skill just increases the ammo capacity, which is noticeable, especially when you are using full auto mode, which is the final firing mode. You will find that your clip depletes very, very quickly in this firing mode, so having that extra ammo capacity does make a difference. It's, as the description says, quite inaccurate to begin with, and it becomes more accurate as you hold the button. It deals okay damage, but at range, you're wanting to use the burst probably more. Like, this is more of a close range kind of thing, whereas you want to use the burst to take down very distant targets. Bucky's intrinsic, so he has a block. It's like Cap's shield. It functions exactly like Cap's shield, basically. You can reduce the amount that it takes to reduce the amount you lose when you fail to block or parry. Yeah, it's like fairly typical stuff. A lot of passive stuff, gaining an extra 5% threshold on his intrinsic meter. And then yeah, you've got the parry. Works absolutely fine. No issue with the parry. You need to have a little bit of intrinsic meter to actually do the parry, I believe. But yeah, otherwise, absolutely fine. You can add extra attacks onto the end once you unlock them. That one's kind of like a knockdown, as you can see. It works fine again. I believe it does stagger exos as well. I might be wrong. I don't think it like trips them, but I think it can stagger them. Then the heavy version is grenade punch. Again, I think this can like push heavy enemies back as well. Not quite to the same effect, but like yeah. Both of these are quite good moves. Parrying can be kind of difficult in this game just because of how chaotic the battle is at all times. But yeah, they're good moves. Um, he has a T'Challa style sort of blast for when his intrinsic meter is full. Gives him some extra defense. You can then increase the buff duration, and you get a handy thing that if you parry an enemy attack whilst you're overcharged, it completely refills the intrinsic meter, which means you can re-trigger it if you want to, which is very nice. It's a very, very cool little passive to get if you're sort of using that parry playstyle. Right, onto specialty. So we're going to talk about his heroics now. This is where things start to get a little bit dicey for Bucky. He does have some good heroics, but they are a little bit buggy. So we're going to begin with Soldier Tech Nonsense. Great name. Don't know who decided. Yeah, you know what? It's fine. So this is a stealth field that shocks enemies. It can have various effects put onto it using the two like side grade trees. This ability at the moment, as far as I can tell, is bugged. It doesn't work all the time. Sometimes you don't get the invisibility field. Sometimes you just get the EMP, and it doesn't give you any of the passive buffs that follow, which is very annoying because this ability is Bucky's one way of recovering his own health meter. If you've got a specific modifier on it. So like, um, yeah, I'm not a big fan of stealth abilities anyways. You can increase the duration of it because this game, like one of the best things it has going for it is its like visuals. And I think when you make your character invisible, you kind of just like you lose half of those visuals. So I don't like invisibility in this game. But as I say, it doesn't matter. The ability's bugged at the moment anyway, so half the time you don't turn invisible. Um, as modifiers, more shock status, um, invisibility to all team members, so you can cloak your allies if you want to. Makes enemies susceptible to takedowns. I will say this isn't really. I thought this was going to be really good, but I don't actually think this is a massively useful node to have because Bucky already has a lot of utility for putting enemies into takedown states outside of this, which we'll get to later. And then this one, you can either have it so it drops heroic orbs, I think it's intrinsic orbs, yep, or it recovers willpower, which is the one that I think is the most useful. This is the only way Bucky has to regenerate his own health bar, and it doesn't currently work. It doesn't function. It sucks so bad because the camouflage doesn't go off half the time. So if the camouflage doesn't go off, you don't get any of the healing. It's just, they need to fix it. They need to fix it like real quick. Assault heroic ability. So this one you will see in the footage that I have, but wasn't using this one properly when I first started started playing because I didn't realize you could hold the button down to aim it, so you can actually throw it to specific areas, which I should have realized because that's how most of the other abilities in the game work. But for whatever reason, I was just like, oh, you just throw it at your feet, which made it very inconsistent. But I will say, off the get-go, it has a very small AoE. Enemies will run outside of it super quickly, and it can be useless in a lot of situations. You can get a second charge of it. It is very powerful, by the way, when it hits. It's a very powerful heroic. It's just like the AoE is tiny and enemies just evade it. Fortunately, you can increase the size of it by 50%, which is very, very useful. And I would say go for this one. Just go for this one. It's the best one on this side. Yeah, there's some other stuff. I mean, I guess there's this which can draw enemies towards the center, but the enemies have to actually be in the AoE for it to matter. So, like, I would still say get the increased size. Marked for assassination debuff. Again, the assault heroic already deals quite a lot of damage. So unless you're using it against like a bigger enemy, I don't really understand why you would want this. Like most enemies that get hit by this assault heroic die. So like making them susceptible to takedowns is just like, yeah. Um, the other side, using it whilst overcharged increases damage. I haven't actually even looked at this side of the skill tree very much, so I don't even know what these do. 10% intrinsic meter energy and recharge speed. Yeah, recharge speed is the obvious one, and that's obviously why I've got it equipped. um, yeah, when you've got that increased AoE on, it does become a usable ability, and it can be quite fun to cause chaos on big crowds of enemies, like dealing like big amounts of damage. Watching robots explode into shrapnel is just always quite fun. So yeah, feels good. Oh, it can get stuck on things as well. If you are in an awkward location, like level wise, it can get stuck on like walls and like terrain. which is another complication to the ability, which makes it a little bit eh. Um, but yeah, his ultimate. His ultimate is very good. It's yeah, no, it's just good. It's just a straight up increase to his damage. He gets a different light combo chain, which is much faster and harder hitting. Um, Also, he does like a big shockwave at the beginning, very similar to how Cap does his like shield slam at the beginning of his. And this slam actually does quite a lot of damage, and it also marks enemies, which makes them susceptible to takedowns, which is brilliant. And this is the main way you will apply this marked for assassination debuff because it has quite a big AOE, as I say. And yeah, I seem to be able to use it quite frequently in missions from what I've seen. Like the recharge isn't too bad. So it is well worthwhile going for this. Increases damage of ranged attacks whilst you're in the heroic, which is great. And extends the duration, also great. Perfectly good passives for the ability. I've not unlocked these yet, so I haven't actually looked into them all that much. Ranged attacks consume no ammo. This is pointless. Don't go for this one. I don't understand why you would unlock this. Bucky's ammo counter is never an issue, really, unless you're using full auto mode. In which case, by the time you've got the extended magazine, it's again just not an issue. Marked for assassination buff increases, basically. Uh, Intrinsic attacks without using intrinsic energy. I feel like most of these, like not really a big deal, to be honest with you. I feel like the main attraction to, or the main two attractions to this ultimate ability are A, giving the enemies the debuff, and B, having that new light combo chain, which is much better than his standard combo chain. All of these don't really play into either of those things. I guess this one does, so I guess go for this middle one. But like, yeah, the other ones just nah. This side more marked for assassination stuff. I think this is just heroic intrinsic, and is this health? No stun damage. Okay, so I mean, this one's a personal preference. Um, I think I'm probably going to go for the heroic orb one when I get it because you don't really need more stun. He already has the ability to take enemies down off of the first thing. So, yeah, his movement, uh, dodge, obviously. Everyone has a dodge. He does a cool combat roll. It's pretty cool. Um, he gets the grappling hook, which is just as buggy as it is with every other character. Sometimes you latch onto the wrong thing. Sometimes it doesn't work properly at all. It's that Avengers jank that we all know and hate. Um, he can wall run. There's a great moment in the gameplay clip that I have of me using the wall run. You'll see what I mean when it happens. It's great. It's a glitch. It's a glitched ability, just like everything else in this game. Um, it's funny. Just yeah, you'll see. And he can vault, like I think most of the characters can, most of the small characters. The vault is also very buggy as well, as it is with every character. Sometimes you don't vault over the enemy, sometimes it doesn't work full stop. Yeah, it's dumb. Um, I'm going to leave the mastery and champion stuff because they're like real nitty gritty percentage things that I'm not really too fussed about for the time being. But you can discover those for yourself if you decide to play this, obviously. Um, we're now going to go into, we'll go cosmetics. We're going to look at the full list of outfits, hopefully. Yeah. So we've got the some premium ones here. Got the Winter Soldier one. Shall I actually preview? I guess so. So this is from the movie, The Winter Soldier. You can get these in a bundle as well. I think it's like 2,200 to get all three of the outfits from the Winter Soldier movie. Which isn't the worst value if you're really into the Winter Soldier, which like I am. So, I might wind up getting these if I'm still playing this come next week. Uh, but I think they've done a good job with the Winter Soldier cosmetics. Like, I think they're very cool. Then we go into some more interesting ones. Yep, there's that. If you want it. Do you want it? Got this one. Kind of cool. Got his like military kind of appearance. Again, very cool. I'm actually a fan of that. I don't think I'll use it because I prefer his long hair look, but that is a nice outfit for those who want it. You got his White Wolf outfit. Again, I actually quite like this. I think they did a good job with this one. It's a nice alternative. Nightwatch got some more sort of retro styles coming in now. I won't go into the like all the recolors. Um, Prisoner outfit, it's fine. Not really my style. Bit gimmicky, kind of over the top. I think this is a recolor. Yeah, it is. I think that's a recolor. Yep, recolor. It goes for the more Captain America colors, which I actually don't mind. I think that's kind of cool. Then we've got some more like just like standard clothing costumes. Matter of fact, I will not go into these. I'll just another prisoner outfit, alternate recolor of what we're currently wearing, which is what you start with. Another alternative, another alternative. It's a recolor of his iconic outfit, which I haven't unlocked yet. Um, recolor, recolor. There's the iconic one, so you can get that one for free. This one you will unlock just by completing his heroic mission chain, which also seems to be bugged at the moment. Or I might have just gotten unlucky, not too sure. Um, but it's telling me to complete a mission at the moment that I don't have access to, which is stupid. But we'll see, we'll see. Uh, Recolor again, more recolor, more recolor. Then with the mask. So yeah, that's all of his cosmetics at the moment. It's fine. Emotes. Does anyone care about the emotes? I mean, I don't, to be honest with you. Um, One with the shield, which is pretty cool, I guess. Um, I kind of like that as a little reference to him, maybe becoming Captain America, depending on which storyline people go with. Um, yeah, I don't think we're going to look at the rest of the emotes. I mean, like, this isn't the kind of thing that I care about. I don't really know why they go all in on these emotes, especially when you can only have one equipped at a time as well. It's like, I don't know. Yeah. Takedowns. I actually do think these are important because they add gameplay variety. Um, so this is the one you start with. You will only be seeing this one if you don't buy anything. Um, it's fine. I think it goes on for a little bit too long. Not 100% sure if the grenade does damage to surrounding enemies. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. This one, I bought this one because, of course, I did. I'm clever like that. I actually quite like this one. It's simple, it's fast, it looks cool. Yeah, big fan. This one, I don't like how much this defies the laws of physics, but it's fine. Like, I'm probably not going to be getting this one. No, maybe I will. I don't know. This one, um, again, this one I think is a bit too similar to the other grenade one, just because it uses the same gimmick of him putting a grenade on the enemy's back and kicking them away. I would have liked to have seen more variety, like something different, maybe on the end. I don't know what. This one I like. You unlock this one by going through the challenge card, which we will have a look at in a sec. Um, And then nameplates, we'll just have a look at the ones that are actually exclusively for Bucky. So you start with this one, which I hate. I really don't like this one at all. I got rid of it as soon as I could. I just don't like the stylings of it. It's very like old school, not really my vision of Bucky. Um, Yeah, this one, it's done in the Black Widow style of artwork, or Black Widow slash Hawkeye kind of style of artwork. I actually quite like the design of it, but I will be changing this one out once I get a different one, which I'll show you in a minute. Um, yep, 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 and yep. Cool. They've got a lot for this like short-haired style um that we've got going on. And funnily enough, like we don't have this costume in the game yet. So I don't know why they're so obsessed with this because they're not like it's not in the game. Like make nameplates that actually reflect what you can actually do with the character. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's cool that they have all the stuff from the comic books. He looks very Nightwing in this aesthetic as well. He's like a very like a Batman Nightwing kind of style. See, I like these ones a bit more with the long hair. It's more what I'm familiar with. This is the one I'm going to be changing to when I unlock it. I think this looks really cool. I like that nameplate a lot. Um, Again, I quite like that one as well. I think that's pretty cool. And also this one. Yeah, there's some really cool ideas here. Big fan of a lot of these ones. Um, this really makes me want to watch Civil War again. I might actually do that tonight. Uh, I love the final fight scene between Cap, Bucky, and Iron Man. It's so good. Where they're like working together to try and take him down, like throwing the shield around. It's really cool. Some of the best like choreography for me in any Marvel movie. But yeah, there's a lot of cool nameplates for him. Right, now we're going to have a look at the challenge card real quick, just so you can see what you unlock from it. So you get this um, one of those nameplates, bunch of upgrade materials. I really don't like that this stuff is in the challenge card. You earn this stuff in crazy amounts at the moment. There's just no reason for it to be on the challenge card at all. I would rather they just put some more of the like nameplates into the challenge card, get rid of some of the crap that like fills the store that way. The takedown, obviously, it's quite early on into the challenge card. I could unlock it right now if I buy the challenge card, which I am tempted to do. We'll see, we'll see. And then the nameplate, which I'll get next. Some more units, bleh. Um, Emotes, like yeah, things like I kind of I get emotes and stuff, I guess. Emotes, skins, takedowns, nameplates, put those in there. And I guess the premium resource is nice as well, but then you have to spend the premium resource to get it back. So yeah. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. It's like it's cool. Um, I just wish that all these resource nodes weren't a thing. Like I don't like these boosters either. Like I think they shouldn't have been added into the game either. Like if you're needing a booster to make the game feel better, then you've deliberately designed your game to be predatory. I'm sorry, but you have. Like any game that has these, like you are like absolutely taking the mick out of your audience. Like it sucks. Like it that is the dev saying, we know that progress is slow, so you pay us to speed it up. Like go away with that. Just go away with that. Like whoever's idea it was to add all of this in, like just needs to go away. Maybe they already have. I've heard their team has been cut down like quite drastically. Um, and yeah, whilst we're here, we might as well take a look at what the shipments are this month. Is it this month? Oh, it refreshes in one day. Okay. So we're back to the Iron Man Wakandan stealth suit, so it's nothing to do with Bucky, which is stupid. Um, They should have done a Winter Soldier one for launch. That would have encouraged people to spend more, like, or like to grind more to get these shipments. As it is at the moment, I'm currently sitting on 29,000 because there is nothing in the shipments that I give a damn about. Like, ugh, I don't know. I don't know if they added any new comics. Let's just have a look. Spider-Man, Black Panther, Widowmaker, Hawkeye, Maestro, Avengers, Classics, Generations, Adaptoid, Kate Bishop, Black Widow. It doesn't look as though they've added any new comics. I might be wrong. But but yeah, okay, so this has been a look at Bucky's skill tree and Bucky's cosmetics. Um, yeah, like all of this stuff is fine. Like again, like I wish that the challenge card was a little bit different, but it's fine. It's fine. Um, so yeah, this has been that. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Farewell.